Welcome to Sheep Yoga. Today we'll be doing a 15-minute class to help with flexibility. I would recommend using a yoga strap for this class, or if not a strap, you can use any belt or long string. Alternatively, you can just use your hands. What we're going to do is start by lying down, and we're going to just begin with some grounding. So just relax on your mat. Breathe normally, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Start by bringing your right foot in and use the strap around your foot or ankle. If you don't have a strap, use your hands on your calf. Left foot on the ground or your left leg out straight, keeping your shoulders on the mat. Try and bring your right foot closer to you by pulling the strap and just relax here. This is a great stretch for your hamstrings, which can help with flexibility in this area. Gently release your right foot and slowly guide it towards the floor, and then do the same with your left foot up in the air, again keeping your shoulders against your mat. Right leg can be out long or bent, whatever feels most comfortable for you, and relax in this pose now. Slowly lower back down your left foot and bring both knees in to give yourself a quick hug before making your way to all fours. And what we're going to do now is one of my favorite exercises for your spine, cat and cows. So when you inhale, lift your chin and your tailbone up, dropping your belly, and exhale to reverse it, lifting the belly up, dropping your head and your tailbone. And keep going like this. To intensify the stretch you get from this pose, bringing your core to help push your spine back on your exhale and really push your belly down on your inhale. Make this round your last one and just move into a easy child pose with your hips going towards your heels and your arms extended out long. Then push your hips up and straighten your legs a little bit, making your way to a downward facing dog, and just pedal here for a few breaths, pushing your heels towards the floor one at a time. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up, bending at the knee, bringing your foot close to your glutes to open up that hip. This is a variation of a three-legged dog. If you are feeling flexible today, or you've done this before, you can lower your right foot to the floor into a wild finger pose and extend your right arm back to really open up your chest as well. Wherever you are, breathe here for a few breaths. Gently come out and then extend your right leg back into a three-legged dog. And on the next exhale, bring your right leg between your hands, dropping down your left knee to a crescent lunge. Inhale to lift your arms up, you can look towards your hands, and exhale to cactus your arms, bringing your shoulder blades together. Aim to do this about 3 times. You've done that, rest your right hand on your right knee, pushing your hips down, and reach back with your left hand to your left heel, bringing that in. You can use a strap here if needed, and this is a very intense stretch for your left quad. Gently release your left foot and make your way up to a high lunge using your hands to support you. Exhale to warrior 2, left foot parallel with the back of the mat, right knee still bent, and then inhale to bring your left arm down, right arm up into reverse warrior, and keep breathing here before moving into a side angle pose on the exhale, bringing your right hand down and your left arm up. Your right hand can remain either on your knee or go towards your ankle or even the floor, and your left arm can either remain straight up or you can try and bring it towards the front of the mat, opening up your shoulder a bit more. If doing so, try and keep your shoulders aligned. After about 2 breaths here, lower down your left hand and then your right hand on the inside of your right foot, and walk your right foot out a little bit more, about mat distance wide, into a lizard pose. To make the stretch less intense, lower your back knee. To make it more intense, lower down your forearms, and to even increase the intensity more, you can roll onto the edge of your right foot and push your knee outwards. Hold here for a few breaths. Keep breathing. And slowly come out of this pose. Gently bring your right foot back between your hands before pushing back into a plank pose. You can stay in the plank pose like this or lower your knees to make it a little bit easier for you, before exhaling to lower all the way down to the mat. Then inhale to cobra, hands under shoulders, arms straight, pelvis pushing into the floor, and exhale back down. Repeat like this a few times, and then push in to cobra again and hold the pose for approximately 5 breaths. And on an exhale, lower back down to the mat before pushing back into your downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg high, bending at the knee, bringing your heel towards your glutes to open up your hip. Stay like this or move into the wild thing pose again by lowering your left foot down to the floor, and you can lift your left arm up to join to open up your chest also. Keep breathing wherever you are. Slowly move out of this pose and back into your 3-leg dog with your left leg straight. Before exhaling to bring it between your hands, drop your right knee down to go into your crescent lunge, arms up, extending the spine. Then exhale to cactus the arms, bringing your shoulder blades together, and do that 2 more times. Bring your left hand to your left knee and reach back with the right hand to the right foot. Again, you can use a strap here if you want to, and bring your right foot as close to your glutes as you can, holding here for a few breaths. Then lower both hands to the ground, helping you get to a high lunge, and on the exhale from your high lunge, move into a warrior 2 pose. Right foot stays parallel to the back of the mat, and then inhale to lower your right hand, lifting your left hand up. Feel the stretch in your waist. Keep breathing. And then when you're ready, exhale into a side angle pose. Your left hand can go on top of your left knee or down to reach the floor. If you feel very comfortable here, you can bring your right hand over the head towards the front of the mat to open up your shoulder, and hold wherever you are. Keep breathing. Then lower your hands to the mat gently, putting your left hand on the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out a little bit, about mat width, and to your lizard pose. Drop your back knee to make it less intense, or drop your forearms to make it more intense. You can even roll onto the edge of your left foot to push your knee out to increase the stretch in your hips, and just breathe. Slowly make your way out of this pose, pushing back into a plank pose, and then on the exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. And we're going to do those cobras again. Hands underneath the shoulders, keep your pelvis pushing to the floor. Inhale, straighten your arms. Exhale, come back down, and repeat this 2 more times before holding the pose for about 5 breaths. Exhale to come back down, and then push back into your downward facing dog. And when you're ready, lower your knees down to the ground to make your way to all fours. We're going to move into pigeon pose. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist and shin towards the ground. Push your left leg back to open up your hips, and try and keep your hips in one line. You can either stay like this using your hands to support you, or you can gently fold forward, either putting your head on your arms or on the mat or even on a cushion. And just relax here, breathe into this deep hip stretch. Using your hands, come out of this pose slowly to make your way back to all fours before repeating on the left side. Left knee to the left wrist, shin against the floor. Push your right leg back to lower your hips, keeping your hips aligned. Either stay like this or fold forward again, and hold for a few breaths, breathing into this stretch. Using your hands, gently make your way out of this pose and come to stand facing the long edge of your mat. We're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold. Make the distance between your feet about the distance of your wrists when opening your arms out wide, keeping your feet parallel to the short edges of your mat. Hands on hips. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to come back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come back up. And then on the next exhale, bring your hands to the floor if you can. If you can't reach, you can put your hands back on your hips. If you want to intensify this stretch, you can try and reach your head to the floor, or you can use 2 fingers around each of your big toes and bend at the elbow to pull yourself closer to your body. This is a really intense stretch, so it's important to make sure the weight is spread evenly through your feet and your back is as straight as you can make it, and you're bending from your hips. Hold here for a few breaths. Wherever you are, make your way out of the pose. We're going to move into Malasana, so bring your legs close together by heel-toeing your feet in. Your feet should be at about a 45-degree angle with your toes facing towards the edges of your mat. Keep your hips low. If you're struggling with balance, you can have your hands on the floor. It doesn't matter if your feet aren't perfectly against the mat, don't worry. If you want to make it more intense, you can put your hands in a prayer position, elbows against the inside of your knees to further push your hips open. This stretch is really good for the lumbar spine and also opening the inner part of your hips. Keep breathing. Using your hands, gently lower your bum to the ground and make your way to a simple cross-legged seated position. We're going to just do a quick twist of the spine to reset. So put your left hand behind you, your right hand in front, and start to move your spine towards your left side, twisting to eventually look over your left shoulder. Start the twist in your lower spine and make it slowly towards the upper spine. Inhaling to straighten your back and exhaling to deepen your twist. Then, when you're ready, cross the more unusual way with the other leg on top and repeat on the other side. Just inhaling to straighten the spine and exhaling to rotate further. Using your hands to support you, make your way to lie down. Bring your feet flat on the mat and try to make your lumbar spine flat against the mat before we move into a bridge pose. Inhale to lift your hips up high. If this is quite easy for you, you can try a wheel pose. If not, don't worry, stay in your bridge pose. For wheel pose, bring your hands next to your head, fingers facing towards your body, elbows bent, and lift up your head, your whole back and your hips, feet firmly on the ground. Whether you are in your bridge pose or your wheel pose, you can make it a little bit harder by trying to lift one of your legs up. When doing so, try and keep your hips high. Lift first your right leg and breathe for a few breaths. And then lower down and try the same with the left leg. Bridge pose or wheel pose, this is a really intense thing to do. It's quite hard and it is going to bring a lot of stretching in your spine. When you're ready, lower down and we're going to just give yourself a little bit of a hug, bringing your knees to your chest before eventually pushing out into a Savasana, a corpse pose. With your legs out long, your palms facing upwards, you can roll your ankles open, close your eyes and just relax. start to wake up your body. Bring your knees closer to your chest, roll over to your right side, and gently using your left hand, bring yourself back up to a seated position. So that is all from me. I hope you're feeling a little bit more flexible from this class. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Have a good day.